They're canceling all of them now. Wow. It's October 1st. The government is officially shut down. If you're planning on any air travel, give yourself plenty of time. The security check-in at LAX Southwest Terminal only had one scanner open, so it was a little slow. So if you are planning on traveling, give yourself extra time to get through security.
We are 3 days away from a government shutdown, and those usually cause problems at airports across the country because the FAA, which of course is a federal agency, runs the airports. But the FAA could be hit with a double whammy this time around, and that will absolutely impact you if you have any plans to travel. So first, let's talk about the part you probably are already aware of. I've told you in several videos, during a government shutdown, federal employees deemed essential will have to go to work but will not be paid. That includes about 85,000 federal employees like certain FAA workers and TSA agents. Thousands more will be furloughed. Now, during the last government shutdown in 2018 and 2019 during the Trump administration, which stretched out for 35 days, by the end of that, these very same TSA and FAA workers got so fed up with going to work and not being paid that they just started calling out sick. And that started to cause chaos at the airports nationwide. I'm talking long security lines and delayed flights. So depending on how long this shutdown lasts, we could see a repeat of those very same issues. But the other part of this double whammy is the law that authorizes the FAA to even exist is coincidentally scheduled to expire on the very same day as the government shutdown. If it expires, the FAA will lose its legal authority to operate, which would stop airport modernization efforts, funding for equipment, funds for operations, and funds for airline consumer protections. Talk about a cluster. So how does this get fixed? Well, first, Congress needs to find a way to fund the government and avoid a government shutdown. And two, both the House and the Senate need to pass a bill to reauthorize the FAA. The House actually passed a version of that FAA reauthorization with an overwhelmingly bipartisan vote back in July. But the Senate version has stalled out over a fight about pilot training hours and pilot retirement age. Now, I told you in this video last night that a bipartisan group of senators have started to work on a short-term government spending bill called a continuing resolution to do both of these things: temporarily fund the federal government, including the FAA, and temporarily reauthorize the FAA through November 17th. The House Speaker said today he will not even consider that continuing resolution from the Senate and instead wants to see an FAA reauthorization in a bill separate from the government funding bill.
Hello, and welcome to another video. And yes, American airports is just a freaking mess, okay? Yes, with the government shutdown, yes, the airport, the air controllers, they are federal employees. The people that check all our baggage when we go to the airport, all the security, they make sure there is not any organization or any people that can harm us in any way. Those are federal governments. The last time, the longest shutdown that we ever have in this country, when Donald Trump was in power, the last time, lasted, I believe, like 35 days. So this government, these federal employees, they started to call sick in the last day because they just was so tired. They're going to work and not being paid, that they started to call sick, and that caused delays in the airports, that caused delays in our security as air control, air tower control, sorry. Yes, and I do believe, I strongly believe that for all the deregulations they had done in the air control and all these things that they just been doing, all this mess, I do believe that right now is not as safe as I used to fly. I fly a couple weeks ago. I do understand that some people, they need to fly because they need to fly, but as it is, and now with the government shutdown coming up, I don't think that it's as safe as we think to fly in the United States.
It just went through airport security, and TSA was not happy because Trump has suspended their paychecks with his government shutdown. The air traffic controllers that I am personally depending on to make sure the plane lands safely, they're also being forced to work without pay, as are our active duty service members. Now, presumably they'll get back pay later, but that doesn't help them pay their bills right now. So Republicans who control the White House, the Senate, and the House opted to shut the government down rather than negotiate with Democrats. Now, Democrats were happy to keep funding the government. They just wanted to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits as part of that. Without those tax credits, millions of Americans are going to see their health insurance premiums go up a lot next year, in some cases doubling or tripling. Expect to be paying a lot more. Many people are going to be paying hundreds of dollars a month more, which is, I guess, what Republicans want. This is the fourth time that Trump has shut down the government. His last shutdown was the longest in U.S. history and cost the U.S. economy an estimated $11 billion. So how long will this one last, and how much will it cost? Follow Courier Newsroom to get all the latest.
It's 5 a.m. and the government has officially shut down, and I have a flight. And I heard the airport's going to be fucked, so let's go see what it's like to be one of the first flights out when the U.S. government has completely shut down. Okay, so getting through security and checking bags and everything usually takes me like 30-ish minutes at SeaTac, so we'll see how long it takes today. I'm not looking optimistic. I'm not seeing a line, but there are lots of people coming in. It's 7:42. Start the timer. 7:46. Just got through checked bag area, though that is a private company, so that doesn't mean much. I'm not scared yet, but the line is increasingly growing. The time is 7:54. Okay, just made it through security. It is 8:02, so it only took 20 minutes. The difference, though, is that this is the Wednesday morning after the government shutdown. So there aren't really anybody calling out sick as of right now. It's also just a Wednesday morning, so the airport is going to be less busy. From what I have heard from other experts in the space is that they expect this to become more chaotic the longer the shutdown remains. So you're going to be waiting a lot longer if you are getting to the airport last minute in a week or so. You might be missing flights. There are going to be flight delays. There are going to be flight cancellations, and getting through TSA is just going to be hell. But since we got here so early, I'm going to go sit in the lounge and have a drink.
What happens to air traffic controllers during a government shutdown? Here's the reality. Controllers are considered essential federal employees, so they stay on the job. But they don't get paid until Congress acts. The paychecks stop, but the bills won't. And you can imagine that adds a lot of stress to an already stressful job. You might remember the FAA brought in 2,000 new controllers this year, but a shutdown means training those new hires will likely be delayed. I want you to think back to January 2019. There was a 35-day government shutdown. Some controllers in New York decided to call out sick, causing delays and even a temporary shutdown at LaGuardia Airport. That pushed President Trump to quickly approve a temporary funding measure. Now, as you're hearing all of this, make no mistake, safety remains top priority. Despite the government being shut down and no paychecks coming, controllers remain committed to doing their duties and to keeping the skies safe.
Parents, imagine this. You're running through TSA with your toddler, bags in hand, and then the line freezes. I mean, total standstill. What if I told you this could happen because of the government shutdown? But first, my name is Kim, the best travel agent and business coach. As of now, experts say a shutdown hasn't historically caused massive delays, but that doesn't mean your travel days are safe. We'll talk about worst case scenario and exactly how to prep for them in this video. So here's what's happening now behind the scenes. TSA and air traffic controllers are essential workers, so they must work without pay during a shutdown. But when people don't get paid, absentee arises. In 2019, callouts among TSA and air traffic control slowed security lines and flights. The FAA also holds new hiring and training for controllers, making staffing problems worse over time. So yes, this could get messy, especially if the shutdown drags on. Now, I want you to imagine this from a point of view as a parent. If you got kids, maybe a stroller, maybe a child with special needs, maybe extra bags in a car seat. Security delays aren't just annoying, they can throw naps off, meals off, and your mental health off. 1 extra hour in line with a crying toddler, that's a meltdown waiting to happen. But I got you. Here are 5 steps so you don't get blindsided at the airport. The first one, you're gonna arrive early, way earlier than usual. Leave extra room for margin. Check estimated TSA wait times online before leaving. Be ultra prepared. Snacks, entertainment, extra charges, bring it all. And pack smart. Put your liquid, gels, and electronics ready so they can be accessible so you don't get held up. And lastly, be kind and be patient. The staff is working under stress too. These are small steps that can make the difference between you making your flight or getting stuck in line. But quick question. In the comments, tell me what's your worst travel day as a parent ever look like. I'll pick one and respond with a tip. Also, if you ever missed the flight because of the chaos in the airport, hit a heart so I know. If the shutdown lasts longer, delays could snowball, long lines, and backup flights. Passport and visa processing could slow and pause entirely, which impacts future plans. And over time, few and newer controllers are trained, and that can cause delays in flights in the future. It's unlikely your trip will completely collapse, but strain, it's real. Follow me and share this with other traveling parents and save this video for your next trip.
Did you know the government shutdown affects air and travel safety? Would you trust an unpaid worker with your life?
So is the government shutdown going to affect my travel plans? Absolutely. Let's get straight to the point on this one. I'm going to share with you 4 groups of employees that will be affected by the shutdown that will directly impact your travel plans. Number 1, air traffic controllers. Number 2, TSA agents. Number 3, passport employees. Number 4, customs and border control. Can you imagine the delays that will happen if the government shuts down and all 4 of these pillars are affected? If you have pending travel plans and you're concerned about this, message me and we can chat about it. Stay safe out there. Happy travels.
Our government has officially shut down. Here's how it'll affect you and the 80,000 federal workers in Washington state. One of the biggest impacts will be on the Port of Seattle, which includes SeaTac Airport and cruise terminals. These will remain fully open, but officials are recommending passengers arrive at least 2 to 3 hours before departure in case of delays. This shutdown is centered on healthcare subsidies and federal spending levels. That means thousands of federal workers are furloughed, some essential staff are working without pay, and services are slowing down. Now remember the last shutdown? Well, in 2018, it lasted 35 days, the longest shutdown in history. SeaTac saw delays as TSA agents called out sick, federal contractors missed paychecks, and unlike federal employees, most never got back pay. But communities stepped up, food banks expanded, restaurants offered free meals, and nonprofits filled the gap. Despite these trying times, there is some good being done among the Seattle community. The Seattle Aquarium is offering free admission to furloughed workers, plus a guest. Point Defiant Sioux and Northwest Trek are free for federal employees and half off for families. The Seattle Rep is giving out free theater tickets, and Kids Quest Museum is only $10 for the whole family. Do you know someone impacted? Tag them, share this reel, and spread the word about free resources across Seattle. Follow the Seattle Today for more updates like this.
And we just made it towards the end of this video. Please don't forget giving a like, comment, and subscribe. Help me to support my channel, help me to grow. Please giving a like, subscribe to my channel as they made this video can reach more people. Thank you so much. Help us to support liberal media, help us to support my channel. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.